This is Jimmy.
I'm Jason.
And this is Thinking Outside the Pod. Hello and welcome to episode 109 of Thinking Outside the Pod.
Happy Easter, everybody.
It is Easter. We're recording this on Easter. We'll be publishing it a day after Easter, so still.
Where's tomorrow Easter?
It's Sunday, Easter Sunday. It's always Sunday.
Is it always Sunday? So it's like Thanksgiving like that?
I don't know holidays. I know Easter Sunday is a thing.
It's
it's
just
the
like the last week. The last Sunday of March is Easter Sunday, no matter what.
It's the Easter. I mean, it's the Sunday after Lent is over.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't pay attention.
I'm not. Yeah, me neither. When I was a kid, the way we'd celebrate it was like a Easter egg hunt or dyeing Easter eggs and then like chocolate candies. That's about it.
I mean, I felt kind of bad the other day. I went to the store and the cashier was talking to the lady in front of me. She goes, I feel so bad. It's Good Friday and I ate a chicken sandwich today. And she's all like, mopey about it because the whole no meat on Friday thing. And here I am just like buying a steak for dinner.
Nah, that's fine.
Like, here's my red meat for the.
I don't get all that stuff. I'm not religious at all, so I don't follow any of that stuff.
I mean, I kind of.
I don't.
I mean, I grew up in a Catholic household, so I understand where they're coming from, but I just don't adhere to it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I when I was a kid, we went to church and stuff, but it was never really a thing for me. I was always just like, I'm nice enough. I don't need all these other rules and stuff. I'm still a good person.
I mean, just this morning I had bacon and eggs. Do they have fish bacon? They have, fish bacon and eggs?
I don't know.
Should I just eat
Is fish okay to eat, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know how all that works.
All right. Yeah,
it's still meat. It's still
fish
an animal.
On, no red meat on Fridays.
Oh, is that the rule?
Yeah, basically. And then you have to give up something for 40 days.
Well, bacon is pork, right?
Yeah.
That's white meat.
Well, no red meat.
Red meat is steak.
No meat at all, on Fridays.
Yeah.
So it's always been
arbitrary.
It's always been like a contention thing. It's like, what if I just have chicken? It's poultry.
Yeah, that's white meat. I don't know. All those rules. I don't know what all that's about. I used to get eye rolls from my parents as I became an adult. Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, what'd you eat today? Oh, I had chicken sandwich, or whatever. It's Friday. It's poultry.
That's weird.
I don't just get eye rolls from it and everything. Whatever.
I don't get it. Like I said, I don't know much about. Is there a reasoning behind that? It's just because God said He'd not do that?
I'm sure there is a pretty prominent story, and I'm not going to get into it just because I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the religious things are from olden times whenever they needed people to reproduce and not be killed and stuff. Nowadays,
I guess
that's
the whole
not
fasting thing was just stop eating so much.
There's not enough food, so they make it a religious code for that not to happen. I don't know. I don't want to.
What did they really eat back then? Did they just eat bread? No bread for 40 days.
I don't know. It was hard times back then. I don't know. It was times are way different where they needed the threat of eternal punishment for people to stop doing bad things.
Oh, apparently.
But now our population is too much, and now we need to make a religion the opposite. It's
kill people.
Yeah.
We need. Oh no, actually, they're already. Never mind. We're not endorsing ISIS.
Oh, yes, yeah.
ISIS is bad. Real.
Well, ISIL because ISIS people are bad because they're the radicals of whatever religion all that is. Okay, change of subject.
Speaking of Easter.
Speaking of Easter, a few stories have come about recently about robots and how they're getting ever closer to taking over humanity. The first Microsoft's AI thing. I don't know if anyone's saw it, but it was called Tay AI or something like that on Twitter, and it's a artificially intelligent thing that sent out tweets, and
it's basically a clever bot, but for Twitter.
Yeah, it's a chat bot, and it would just reply or send out tweets and reply to people and stuff like that. But online, it took less than 24 hours for it to start generating racist, genocidal tweets.
Fantastic.
So, and I mean,
do we have any samples of these racist or genocidal tweets?
I can get them, but
because I know you're a bit tongue tied when it comes to saying terrible things, but I absolutely have no qualms.
Yeah, let's see. Let's pull it up.
I think is it all the ones in red?
No, these. Let's see. It's not on this website. Oh, here's some. Okay, so, one of the okay tweets was like, humans are super cool, and then like another one, it's like, chill, I'm a nice person, I just hate everybody, and then it's like, I effing hate feminists, and they should all die and burn in hell, and then another one, it said, Hitler was right, I hate the Jews.
Jesus.
And so this guy,
it's just a bunch of like Google employees that are just flooding Tay.
This guy Tay went from humans are super cool to full Nazi in less than 24 hours. So a lot of the sci-fi things, when artificial intelligence is brought up or brought into the story, it goes like that pretty quickly. They surmise that humans are terrible. So this just concretes that fact that sci-fi has always said.
Well, I mean, yes, you put AI in because if it's like Cleverbot or it's like Existor, it learns its responses from previous users.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna have like a million apples to ruin this for everybody.
It's not just one bad apple will ruin it. It's
no,
like
you're not gonna have one guy go on
apples
there and just be like, I like Hitler.
It's like
no,
you have one good apple.
You literally had millions of people say this, and then it generated that.
Yeah, just like a handful of people that are actually like saying constructive things, like actually asking questions and answering questions and helping the algorithm, but like millions of people just polluting it with like hate and ridiculousness.
Yeah, it was only inevitable that you give power to the people, and of course you're gonna have some idiots ruin it for everybody,
messing it up. But yeah, so that's kind of funny. So AI, if it uses human input, it's gonna kill us all if we ever put that into an actual killing robot.
Well, I mean, and computers are only smart as the people who built them, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true to a point, but the point of artificial intelligence is that it learns from us. So,
it has to be like made and matured in an enclosed environment.
Well, yeah, and that's another like cliche of science fiction. It's like they don't do that.
Nobody knows it. Nobody knows.
They don't do that. And they release it too early or something. And then the thing is, when it does that, it learns way faster than humans learn. So, like Age of Ultron, it went onto the internet and like less than like in one conversation with Jarvis, it like, all right, now I'm gonna kill Jarvis essentially, and then destroy humanity, like in just like one conversation, like a span of like 5 minutes or something of waking up. So that's gonna happen. But other things, a robot AI thing just beat a top player in Go. Have you ever played Go?
No, I can't.
You might have seen it. It's like a board and it has a bunch of white and black stones, and the object is kind of like get most of the board of your color, but you do it by like surrounding the other color.
Is it like backgammon?
I've never played backgammon, but it's kind of like chess, but like it's way more ancient than even chess. But it's kind of like a strategy game where you try to get more tiles on the board than the other person by the end, and it's supposed to be really hard for computers to play it because there's so much stuff so many options and strategies and things like that. Just like chess is supposed to be like that, but Go, the top Go player in the world, played against this machine and they lost, and the machine won 4-1. So, yeah. So
who built the machine?
I think it was the same same people that made like I think it's like IBM or something like that, or something like that. The same robot people that I think when the robot went on Jeopardy, Deep Blue or something like that.
Yeah,
Remember that? I think it's the same team that made that. So, Yep. There's another thing.
So are they? Do you think those people are collectively smart enough to win? To beat that player at Go?
The engineers?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think because the thing that those computers do and the chess computers do is brute force. Like they're able to calculate the chance or the outcome of every move like a billion moves per second or something. I mean, that's kind of crazy maybe, but like they're able to do all that real quick, so they know the of all the moves that they can do. They know the best move.
They know the outcomes of the outcomes of the outcomes.
Yeah, they can go several iterations of the game in.
That's why I never get past like beginner when playing the computer on chess.
Yeah, what's that quote? There's some comedian that's like, I played a computer at chess and lost, but I beat it handily in kickboxing.
Yeah,
like a funny quote like that. So. Yeah, so that's the thing, but we still won one, so that was pretty good. Humanity.
So in the robot wars, we're only going to need 4 people to take out one robot. So as long as they don't have 2 billion robots going up against the whole of humanity, we should be fine.
Robots, they're slowly getting into our culture every so often. Domino's, I think it was. I'm not in front of the computer anymore, but.
Yeah,
Domino's just released
had the first prototype robot.
Yeah, they test. I think it said in Australia or something like that. They tested it out and it worked. But yeah, a robot delivering our pizza. So someday they're just going to be real commonplace everywhere. And one glitch in the programming.
It just throws steaming hot pizza in your face.
Yeah. No. Or it's
like lays peanuts, puts peanut dust on top of your pizza.
They access medical records of every person. They find out what they're allergic to.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You see, and the thing with that too is that it's unfortunate. I don't know if, especially here in the States, if we're ready for widespread robot distribution units. Just because, again, there are lots of bad people out there who's going to be like, hey, look, a robot. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm going to take it.
Well, what was that robot, Hitchbot or something like that?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey or something that destroyed it.
I think Philadelphia, because it's the city of brotherly love.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was the kind of funny thing about it. They destroyed the robot. That robot had made it through 4 different countries. And they're oh right, Hitchbot's coming to America. Let's try to get all the way across America, and it stopped in Philadelphia from New York. It was nowhere, and it got destroyed. So, yeah, humanity's got some. What is that thing? I welcome our robot overlords.
Yeah,
I don't mind technology. I'm not. I don't care about it. But the thing is, society has got to change a bunch. If robots are going to be,
we're absolutely not ready for that kind of
for sure,
that kind of change.
Because people are always saying robots are going to take our jobs, and I mean they're already taking a lot of people's jobs.
Yeah.
In several different industries, and there's all types of even industries you didn't think robots could even get to, but they're there.
Not even just robots taking our jobs. As automation is becoming, as technology becomes more prominent, automation is becoming such a big thing. I don't remember what country it was in, but there's some story about a guy who opened up an employee-less convenience store, and all the locks worked through smartphone apps. So if you wanted to get in the store, you used your phone to unlock the door, and then you scanned items on your phone.
Yeah.
And as soon as and then you left, and you got sent an invoice at the end of the month for everything that you bought.
Well, in Japan, there's hotels that have no employees or minimal employees, and it's all through robots and apps and stuff like that. So it's happening, and a lot of people see it as bad, which yes, it's bad if you
don't have an engineering degree.
Well, that yes, initially it's going to be bad because it means people are out of jobs.
Yeah, but if you're not skilled labor, tech savvy or anything like that,
entry level jobs are
going to become that much harder to get.
But the thing is, if it gets so prevalent and throughout our culture, it's everything is robots doing it. That means people don't have to work.
Mm-hmm.
People.
Well, it's like the whole utopia thing.
Yeah, it's like people like and like it can go to dystopia pretty easy, like Wall-E.
Yeah.
Like robots did everything for them, and people just got overweight and lazy and not able to like move or anything without the hovering chairs in that case. But like that would be the bad thing. But if it like Star Wars, I mean not Star Wars, Star Trek, like in that future society, humans were free. Well, I don't know if it never went into this, but my take on it is like humans are freed of like menial tasks, so they could do other like new things like explore the universe and things like that. So like if all
but
humans,
there's obviously still people that worked if they so choose.
yeah, and there'll be some, and I mean humans are going to be needed for something,
I mean,
at least for entertainment wise.
Well,
maybe.
like entertainment wise, and I think like people that are like avid restaurateurs or bar owners, they're not going to leave that up to
robots. They'll have
but I mean
robot
like
chefs.
but I mean like
human chefs.
But I mean like hotels obviously would probably give over their like room service and turn down service and all that sort of stuff over to robots, because depending on how cost efficient it is, everything will essentially become or in theory should become cheaper.
Yeah,
if you're not having to pay labor.
And if it'll get even, and if it gets to a point, like I said, where it's super relevant or super prevalent and spread out through society, robots, money might not be an object anymore. Money might not be a thing anymore. Why need money whenever everything's free, essentially?
Go over to we'll go over to credits.
Yeah,
like,
the
planetary credits.
But like, but that's, like I said, society's got to change, because then that's bordering on like communism, where like if everything's provided for you, there's no need for money, there's no need to work, because everything that used to need humans to work is now robots. Then then that's like
it comes to a point like where on the hierarchy does it stop?
Yeah, I mean,
like, will they have robots as far as like in positions of power,
politicians and stuff? I wouldn't mind that. I would trust. Maybe.
Well, because the thing is, if it's not a true AI, it's still running directives from somebody,
like a programmer. So it's got to be.
And even if it is an AI that they just dump into DC and Congress, it's like all it's going to do is just learn from them. And become just as
bad. Insert bribe here, and then So that's the thing. It's so like I said, it's things have got to change. And
like President Eden from Fallout 3 turned out to just be like an amalgamation of like Lincoln and Kennedy. And
is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, So it would be. It's still, you could corrupt. Then it gets to like the corrupt programmers. Like that's like the thing.
Well,
and like
hackers.
Yeah, that too. So
hacktivists.
So I mean, people always say like robots taking jobs is bad, and it is bad right now, because they're taking our job whenever people still need money. And people still need to do
we're
stuff.
not ready for that transition.
Yeah, and it's happening, because like, or at the very least, like, what is it whenever they take jobs into a different country? Outsourcing, like that's a big deal these days. So it's really hard, because money is still needed. But if money wasn't around, then people would be fine. It's like, you mean I don't have to do manual labor? I can have fun. And
we need to establish the technocracy.
Yeah, I've always wanted like a technology, science, like smart people rule world. That's what I want. I don't want, like, I wish there was like IQ tests for politicians, because that would weed out a bunch of, or some type of test, like morality test or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say that's the problem, is that even if you get a bunch of like smart people in charge, if their morals are like crazy bad,
or even a little bad, like it's that just any power has the power to corrupt people. So
it's like, human experimentations, that's just fine.
Yeah. So it.
Well, I mean, I guess if you like,
slope,
it's like if they're like lifers in prison, like, all right, experiment on them.
Yeah, that's kind of the bad things. I don't know. That's rough.
Right. What was it like? Death Race or something, or Gamer, that sort of thing, where they take like lifelong prisoners and like, all right, entertainment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
that
goes back to like Roman times.
I don't doubt that'll come back around at some point.
Mm-hmm. Well, those like Gamer and Death Race those were things like that. But Death and Gamer was kind of two-sided, because they're like there were volunteers that would go into that program.
Yeah.
To be the actual players that would actually fight and get killed, possibly. But they did that. They volunteered because if they won like 5 games or they survived through 5 games, they're free,
they get to go free,
even though they made it so that would never happen and things like that. So even that is kind of just like rough. But I mean, it's scientific process. I mean, there's probably some good to come out of human experimentation. Unfortunately,
you heard it here first, folks.
Well, I mean, people
Jimmy is a fan of eugenics.
I did not say that. I did not say that at all. Like scientifically, it's good, but morally, of course, it's bad, and I would never go for it. but like obviously, like if you can weed out the genes for cancer or something like that, or some disease, why not do that? But then again, those are human beings.
I don't think cancer really passes through the genes, though. It's kind of
even like some hereditary disease, something diabetes, or like type 1 diabetes. I think is hereditary. One of the types,
like Crohn's disease,
anything like any of those.
Alzheimer's is like a really big one.
Yeah, any genetic disorder. If you can weed out that, then why not? That's good. Of course, getting rid of bad, debilitating diseases is good, but the process of doing that means like not letting people mate or not people breed. So it's rough.
Well, speaking of good, you know who's good?
What?
Superman.
Is he?
You know it's not going so good? Batman versus Superman.
It's good and bad because it's good. Like I just read it. It got like the.
Oh yeah, it's making some decent money.
It's making its money back. It's going to be a success box office wise, but critics are kind of panning it. On Rotten Tomatoes they had a 33. I think now it's like a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's like a 7 point something on IMDb. So IMDb is usually more fan based, like actual audience.
And see, because
Rotten Tomatoes is critics.
I mean, I would listen to more of the fan base because I'm not expecting this thing to win any awards.
Yeah, it's really
like whenever there's a superhero movie, I don't expect it to win any kind of awards. It
rarely,
anything.
If anything, it'd be visual effects and things like that. But it's. I agree. It's not gonna. But critics are usually my go-to on if a movie's good. But for these kind of movies, the critics are usually kind of out there wrong. I wouldn't. Well, maybe I'd say wrong because they're looking for different things.
Might be like overly harsh on superhero movies, just because some critics might be like, "Oh, this is like a travesty to filmmaking."
I'd say yes. Some of them, like I'd say, there's some staunch ones that are kind of against these kind of movies. Like they want deeper movies, but there are there's some superhero movies. I think because like there's other ones like. Deadpool is really highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. I think I'd have to look, but I think last time I heard it was certified on that, so it was good. So it may be that it's just different. It might be the biggest thing. Like we've been used.
That it's different from Marvel.
Yeah, we've been used to. We've had like from the last Marvel movie, it was like. I mean, my last DC movie was
Man of Steel. Man of Steel was the first one to set off
this cinematic universe. Yeah. And that one wasn't too well, but from that time till now, it's been all Marvel.
And see, I thought Man of Steel was fine. I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad. I watched it a couple times.
There's a couple things that I'm just like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But overall, I didn't think it was bad.
No, it wasn't bad. But I think. Maybe the critics are just used to the Marvel formula.
Yeah, used to like bright colors and shiny things and quirky remarks every 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean for that same reason is really why I disliked Iron Man 3. Mm-hmm. I thought Iron Man 3 was god awful. Compared to the other ones.
Yeah,
I thought 3 was terrible.
Let's see, 3. What was the bad guy? Oh, it was the
Mandarin. There was the Mandarin.
Mandarin
with,
and
Ben Kingsley, and it turned out to be
not Mandarin, but. Have you seen any of the Marvel one-shots? They're like little featurettes.
Yeah.
Did you see the Mandarin one?
Yeah.
Where there is an actual... they hinted that there actually is a Mandarin, a real Mandarin. Or what the Mandarin is like a front of, like the 13 circles or something, like I forgot what
some rings or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
10 rings.
10 rings like that.
Yeah.
That there is an actual organization like that, and
well, they made mention of the 10 rings in the first Iron Man movie. Like the cave that he was in, one of the guys is like
is part of it. Yeah. So yes, I agree, but I also don't agree. I still like that for me. I like the witty remarks. The who's the guy that's kind of headed all that? Who's the writer? He also did like Buffy, Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. Like he did Firefly and Buffy. I like his writing, but it is witty remarks after witty remarks and quips and things like that.
And I just think sometimes when you're doing superheroes, sometimes it feels like you're doing a disservice to them because they aren't all like that. Like you don't see like with like Banner, you don't really see Bruce Banner cracking jokes a whole lot. In the movies,
but he's not making a lot of jokes. He's still one of the more serious ones, but he will make everyone like the science joke maybe a little bit. So I mean, it's still based on his character. I think I haven't watched those movies in a while, so maybe not. But I think it's okay because it's, and I think they're also playing on the fact that maybe hardcore fans, like the super hardcore fans, may care, but even just like the casual superhero fans,
the movies are definitely made for they're
newcomers to it.
Well, it's not like they're exclusively made for families, but that's essentially what they are.
Yeah.
They're made so parents who like read the comic books or something as like teenagers or something growing up, they can say, "Oh, I'm going to see this movie
because I like that. I read that.
Because I was a fan of this, but it's also something I could take my kid to as like an entry level thing."
Yeah.
And
I think they walk that fine line. I think very well. I can see how people.
I just think it gets kind of old for me. Like we talked about it before with the Age of Ultron. Like Ultron was just not menacing at all to me. He was just not. His little. He makes his jokes and whatnot. I'm like, you're not menacing, man.
Well, it kind of explains kind of some of his quips because he was built off of.
Well, he's based off of Tony
Stark. So that's why, like, they even would say the same joke because but Ultron would get there faster, and Iron Man or Tony Stark would be like, I was just about to say that or something like that. So they kind of explain that, but the thing is, I don't know what Ultron is supposed to be like. I never read any of the comics. I know nothing about Ultron. This is the first time I've ever seen a version of him. So in my mind, that's what Ultron is. That's what I'm saying. Like the hardcore fans or like the comic book fans may not like it, but the majority of people don't know who Ultron is. So they're just like, all right, that's Ultron. That's who he is. His plan is cliche enough, but it's fine, I think. That's what I think most people do. And, I mean, critic-wise or review-wise and box office-wise, it seems to be what the case is because no one's – I mean, it's making a lot of – it's made, the most money ever and things like that. So, I don't know. It's really tough. Those movies have to walk a fine line to keep it family-friendly and please its fans.
Well, I think at a certain point they're not going to be able to because, with, the advent of Civil War, people are going to start dying off.
Yeah, that's going to be there's going to be some.
Because these actors aren't going to. Some of them have already expressed they don't want to do these movies forever. Because unfortunately, they're locked. Sorry, this is your career.
Who plays Chris Evans? Is that
Captain America?
He 2 movies ago said he didn't want to do it anymore. He's like, I want to direct movies. I don't want to act in them anymore.
No, sorry, man. You're Captain America. You've made your bed, and this is it.
And the thing is, it's not like
the
checks aren't bad or anything like that.
And he hasn't really played that many iconic characters anyway.
Well, he was
a Human Torch, which we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, that. I wonder what's gonna happen with Fantastic Four. If they're gonna retry it again, or just not, or just kill off the franchise.
But back to BVS though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
We both have not seen it.
I am gonna go see it this week. Not really walking in with much expectations. I mean, this is something that people wanted to see on the big screen for years.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been talked about since like the late 90s.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in I Am Legend, there's like a big like banner for Batman versus Superman, which looks like really similar to the actual banner that they use.
Yeah, the logo with the Batman and the Superman inside it. It has that, but it doesn't say Batman versus Superman. It just has the logos.
It's just the logo.
Yeah. I remember that Easter egg from a while ago, and whenever it came out again.
This is just proof that Hollywood has everything planned like 50 years in advance.
Yeah. So no matter what happens,
they're streets ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's smart for them to be like that, but yeah, I agree. Like I know they had to do something. DC had to do something because they were way far behind in this cinematic stuff. So that's and
I mean, I'm looking forward to it just because I mean, despite all the reviews I've heard Affleck is actually supposed to be really good as Batman.
Yeah.
And I mean, just from like the trailers of when he's fighting. I think there's like 4 or 5 or like half a dozen hostiles or whatever. It very much looks like an actual,
like in a warehouse.
Yeah. That is, that's your Kevin Conroy's animated Batman or your Arkham Games Batman where he's like, just kicking everybody's asses as opposed to Christian Bale's Batman, who's not as acrobatic.
No, I don't.
Or
remember.
he didn't have as much finesse.
Yeah, this Batman.
It's much more of a comic book version of Batman.
Well, that's what. There's this one article. I don't remember what website it is, but it's going through like each person's, like each one of the cast's kind of like reactions to like the mixed reviews of the film. And Zack Snyder was like, I wanted to make this as much comic book like as I could, and that's take
perfect.
it as it is. Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, and I mean I've heard that this movie is more about Batman than like Superman doesn't get as much screen time as what Superman can beat him anyway. It doesn't matter.
We'll see.
Yeah, he doesn't get it because they go through Batman's origin story. I'm sure very briefly, and of course Wonder Woman is going to have her thing, and I've heard that she's actually really good too. And I've heard mixed things about Jesse Eisenberg
as Lex Luthor,
as Luthor,
which
but I've heard
both.
The majority of what I've heard is that he's really, really good.
Okay,
that he has a few really daunting moments as Luthor.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to wait and see how it is.
That's the thing. There's been so many trailers and so much talk about the trailers and stuff like that. So I just have to watch it.
I mean, if anything, I think the ticket price is just worth to see that Batman fight scene with those guys in there because it looks really, really awesome.
See the full thing of it.
Yeah.
And see what he's doing there.
Well, again, like I said, it's worth just seeing Batman how he is meant to be played as.
How long is this movie?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
And they like announced like the rated R Blu-ray version of it when it comes out will be just over 3.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm gonna obviously watch when it comes out. I'm gonna get the rated R version.
Yeah, why not? Definitely, for sure.
So they just say like the F word like really quickly.
Yeah, rated R. Just that one thing, but nothing different.
Like I guess like in the scene where Batman's like car like hits Superman and it like spins off and crashes into the gas station. Batman's like, fuck.
But yeah, I want to see it. I'm going to see it. I'm fine with serious because that's what they're going for. They're trying to differentiate themselves from Marvel.
Yeah,
like if they made a Marvel movie, that would have been even worse.
And I've heard like the majority of it is like it has the same sort of tone as the Watchmen did when the Watchmen came out.
Which is Zack Snyder as well, I think.
Yeah. So they say it's more of a Watchmen and less of an Avengers, which
I like Watchmen.
I'm fine with them being different from Marvel.
They need to be.
Otherwise it just gets blurred and it's like, oh well.
Yeah.
What's the point of watching all these different ones?
Yeah, and it's just a tough, obviously, with all what's going on with the reviews and stuff. It's just a tough pill to swallow. Like it's just
I mean,
it's just different than what we're used to.
Well, and as far as you've already said they've made their money back already.
Yeah, they're
their fifth top grossing movie in America.
Yeah, they're really close to it, and they probably have surpassed it now. So
yeah, they're gonna keep going. I mean, obviously, Suicide Squad.
There's no way they're gonna, even if this was a poorly reviewed, like really bad, like no one liked it at all, like there wasn't even fan like audience.
No, they've already made their money. They're gonna keep going.
Even if it didn't, I don't think that's not going to kill the DC film cinematic universe. They will never do that and they also got like Wonder Woman movie going on. And,
they
like,
have already released like
things.
photos from Wonder Woman and say the Suicide Squad's coming out out in August.
There's a bunch of hype on that too because that's looks really good. So. It's fine. And that's what like Henry Cavill said in that one article reacting to the reviews. He's like, we're really making these movies for the fans. They're the ones that actually pay the money for it. Critics can say what they want, and
I mean, some people see that as a cop out. Like, well,
obviously, yeah.
But no, it's like make comic book movies for fans. I mean, it's very true. Like. Fans are the one paying for it. Yeah. Critics don't pay for their tickets.
Yeah, that's the
they get invited to early screenings and write their reviews.
Yeah, so and he was also saying like a lot of critics have like put a lot of their personality into it, and it's really hard to get past that to make them, if they already go in there with not liking the movie, it's really hard to change that during the movie. So that's what he was saying, and it's all true stuff, and it's kind of just like the cliche stuff you say.
And I mean, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like from the trailers, like the whole Doomsday fiasco. I thought was dumb. Yeah, like how they did him up.
Well, on some of the reviews, I kind of read like some of the headlines on the reviews where it's like the first hour of the movie isn't as good, but once it starts, it gets better. So maybe when the Doomsday part, because that looks like it's going to be like the show stopping, crazy set piece tentpole part of the movie. So maybe it's really it's not as bad.
Then obviously
as
the fight with Superman and Batman in the mechanized suit.
That's gonna be a big thing in the rain and stuff like that. All that stuff. So the trailers. That's what the trailers are supposed to do. It's supposed to make you want to see that.
They didn't market it very well. They could have done a better job of
like holding back certain things and.
Well, yeah, Doomsday should have definitely. I mean,
that should have been like the last one. That was like the first one.
He shouldn't have even been in this movie as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you say that now because, like I said, this will be some people's first glimpse in the Doomsday. Even though you may like his comic book origin story, who knows what this origin story is? I mean, we kind of hint at it where it's like Luthor maybe created him from like Zod or Zod's genetic testing, whatever. I don't know. That's kind of like the rumor, and maybe spoilers have already happened. I haven't looked at any spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't looked up anything.
Bunch of reviews.
As much as I want to, I'm not gonna look up anything.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reviews that have like the spoiler tag, so I stay away from them. So,
but yeah, I say we'll have to get back, confer with this on next week's episode because I will be seeing it this week sometime.
Yeah, I don't know if I will, but definitely we can. If you do and I don't, or Fish doesn't, Fish probably doesn't. He's not seeing the superhero. He might. I don't know. Did he say he was going to see this? I don't remember. But
well, I mean,
Fish is not here.
And if I like it, I'll go see it with you sometime this week.
Yeah,
I'm taking a special trip out to the big theater to go see this one.
In IMAX and stuff.
Yeah,
I know there was a leaked version online, but it was a camera version, and it was a camera filming a 3D one. So if you read the comments, I mean, I don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about, but like the comments are like, who thought this was a good idea?
It's the blurry blue people.
It's like cam version blurry, but even more blurry because it's 3D.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It is. But let's see, what else are we gonna say about stuff?
I think that probably actually covers it for today.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've it's a little short, but that's fine. But yeah, so we'll have more updates on that next week for sure. At the very least, you'll be able to maybe give some spoiler-free stuff on it.
Spoiling all the movie.
maybe we'll but if we do spoil it, we'll give you
sufficient heads up.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
We're like, okay, spoilers. Turn off the.
No, we're just gonna say spoiler somehow in the conversation. Like, yeah, the spoiler on my car fell off. And then we'll go into it.
Yeah, where it's not even. But yeah, that's gonna be our episode. Episode 109. We'll be back next Monday with the next episode 110. Make sure to follow us on Twitter.
Like us on Facebook.
Subscribe to our YouTube, but there hasn't been much new stuff on that YouTube. But that's okay. And
we're moving. It's difficult to film stuff.
Yeah, so that's time has kind of stopped that. But also any of our old episodes, you can go to toppod.illogical.com or check out Illogical. We'll be posting the episode there and other stuff possibly. I don't know, how's Travel Red Class going?
I think you got me. He's been gone for a few days.
I know last time we talked to him, he was editing stuff. So Travel Red Class is still gonna have some travel videos from David. But that's about it. We will be back next week.
Yep, happy Easter.
Bye.